Well, it is the first day of March 2025. Hello there, good evening. Welcome to News Tonight here on GHOne Television. We are live from our studios here at the Platinum Place, North Ridge here in Accra. Also live on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube at GHOne TV. Here's what to expect in the next hour. New Patriotic Party accuses President Mahama of failing to address critical issues during State of the Nation address with a pledge to present the true state of the nation. Residents of Amasamang and surrounding communities to battle acute water shortage as Ghana Water Limited announces plans to temporarily suspend water supply from today. In business, Automotive Assemblers Association say policy to ban importation of salvaged vehicles has potential to create more jobs. And on the international front, Zelensky to meet Starmer as Europe rallies for Ukraine amid Trump spat. Well, grateful for your company this evening. I am Joshua Kojo Mensah, and today being the 1st of March, it is also the first day where our Muslim brothers and sisters begin their fast. Well, President John Dramani Mahama has announced that an extra public holiday will be observed in honor of the Muslim celebration of Eid al-Fitr. This decision aligns with his campaign pledge and serves as a recognition of the significant contributions of the Muslim community to national development. Speaking at the sword cutting ceremony for the new Hajj village on Friday, 28th February, President Mahama disclosed that he has directed the presidency's legal counsel, Marietta Brew, to amend the Public Holidays Act accordingly.
His Eminence, the Chief Imam, eminent Muslim Ummah, I'm also happy to announce that I've instructed the legal counsel at the presidency, Madam Marietta Brew, to amend the Public Holidays Act to provide an extra holiday for the Muslim celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Therefore, beginning this year, there will be 2 days of holiday at the end of the holy month of Ramadan.
Well, away from that, the opposition New Patriotic Party is accusing President John Mahama of failing to present a true and comprehensive picture of Ghana's current state. Now, in a press statement, the NPP said urgent national challenges were conspicuously absent from President Mahama's State of the Nation address. They said the State of the Nation address, which is a constitutional mandate under Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution, is intended to provide an honest and comprehensive update on the state of affairs. They claimed the president's speech ignored key issues such as worsening electricity supply, rising insecurity, increasing illegal mining activities, and a growing unemployment crisis. Now, the statement issued by the party, which is currently on your screen, says that these urgent national challenges were conspicuously missing from the president's address on Tuesday, March 4. It follows the State of the Nation address presented by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on February 27. Now, they go that in just a few weeks under his administration, alarming developments have surfaced, and we are talking about deteriorating power supply Ghanaians are experiencing currently, among a plethora of issues. So let's have a conversation now on this particular development, because the NDC is also quite alarmed at what they say the NPP says is the true state of the nation address, which they will be providing for us. But let's get on the lines now and speak to Mustafa Bande. He's Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency. He's also Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, and he has joined us via Zoom. Mustafa, thank you so much for your time this evening. Now, the NPP says that, well, the State of the Nation address presented by John Mahama failed to address things that have also occurred within the past few weeks under his presidency. How do you respond to that? Well, we'll get...
Hello?
Yes, Mustafa, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Fantastic. So I'm saying that the MPP, your folks in the MPP, they say that President Mahama failed to touch on key issues, happenings within his administration in the last couple of weeks. How do you respond to that?
Well, thank you very much to our cherished listeners. I think that in the last 2 days,
We'll definitely get a clearer connection to Mustafa Gbande, but the statement from the MPP.
This country.
Mustafa's line is quite troubling, and we'll re-establish contact with Mustafa Gbande on this particular development. And but the MPP statement on your screens currently talks about the MPP to present the true state of the nation address, and they say that they remain committed to ensuring transparency, accountability, and responsible governance, for which reason they would also be presenting the true state of the nation address, which will be given by the majority or minority leader, I beg your pardon, Alexander Kwame Apenyo-Markin, who is the party's leader in parliament. So we'll be getting to Mustafa Gbande. Let's try him on phone and see if we have a clearer connection then, so we can have this conversation on the NPP's quest to present the true state of the nation address. Mind you, they say that quite a number of things have happened under the John Mahama administration since January 7. And that is what basically was conspicuously missing. But let's join Mustafa Gbande on phone. Mustafa, thank you again. So the NPP says, like I said earlier, that John Mahama failed to touch on very key happenings within his governance in the past few weeks, for which reason they say that they are poised to give us the true state of the nation in the coming days. What's your reaction to that?
I think that they should not be taken seriously. Currently, they don't have any job to do. They are in opposition. Clearly, they have failed to reflect on the ills and the crimes with which they manage and govern this country. Again, they have failed to accept that the verdict of the December 7th election was a vote of no confidence on their 8 years of governance. When President Mahama spoke 3 days ago, the farmers in my village understood that clearly. Quite apart from the fact that it was a promise, it is now clear that the day is coming in the near future when there will be agriculture centers in every constituency. And for me, that is hope. The youth of this country who do not have jobs have suddenly realized that it is no longer issues of campaign and rhetoric, but rather a government is in place that is going to create jobs. The MPP 8 years in government, the only job they created was NAPCO, which they failed to even pay the NAPCO people. But today, NAPCO is a thing of the past. You will see clear youth employment. Again, when President Mahama spoke, it gave me the hope that those who have stolen state money will not go unpunished. So I call on the MPP to quickly ransack their persons and officers who have stolen money and have run away from this country. Bring them back to face the law. That is what Ghanaians are expecting from them. Talking about unemployment, Ghanaians have complained about unemployment. These same people had financial clearance, refused to employ the Ghanaian people, only saw the need to do same when they lost election. These are jobs that we are going to sack the people, open those job opportunities to all Ghanaians to apply and get them on merit.
Right.
And so that is why they are making noise. If that is what is paining them, the game is yet to start. We will sack all those people, including politically exposed persons hiding in the public sector. The MPP can go bend the sea. We have a mandate by the people of Ghana, for the people of Ghana.
But Mustafa, if you say that they can go bend the sea, are you not being unfair to the MPP? Because clearly, even when you were also in opposition, you were also presenting the true state of the nation address. Now they raise some critical issues. They say, well, illegal mining is still happening. We have done so also in some parts of the country, and those did not feature in President Mahama's state of the nation address. That's why they want to present the true state of the nation's address.
The State of the Nation address President Mahama gave was not a whining statement of address. It was to focus on the problems created by the very people hypocritically who are standing at the other side ranting. They are trying to solve their own problem. Which people created the doomsday? Are they not, is it not President Akufo-Addo and his people? Didn't President Akufo-Addo give ECG to his brothers, managed it 6 months, took the money away? Didn't we know? Is it not true that they defrauded this country? They took loans for projects and never did the project? Is it not true that they criminally managed the economy, where a finance minister was a finance minister at the same time his private companies benefiting from fees from loans procured? And so if the same people are gathering in hopelessness without realizing that we are trying to solve their own problems, then I don't know what the MPP stands for. The MPP that was once touted to be a political party of intellect, today have been reduced to nothing. Don't they appreciate that the relief, the sense of relief in the face and eyes of the ordinary Ghanaian, knowing that their country is no longer being managed by casino boys and girls led by a station master who have supervised a deep fraud against the country? Don't they see the relief, the sense of relief that today Ghanaians can sleep at peace, knowing that their companies will not be ransacked, their businesses will not be collapsed, their properties will not be taken away from them? Don't they see the relief? These people, they don't, you see, they want us to reduce the conversation to politics as usual. But as for President Mahama and the NDC, there is a young person out there whose future must be protected.
Right.
There's a pregnant woman in the hospital whose pregnancy must be protected. There's a parent whose pension fund were taken and he must get that money back. That is hope.
Right.
You know?
So for you, Mustafa, the threats or the revelation by the MPP that they are going to present the true state of the nation address, you say it's much ado about nothing.
There is no revelation. It's an exercise of futility organized by lazy people, hypocrites who don't appreciate the problem they have created. They are running away from fame. We shouldn't take these people serious. Do you take them serious? 50 days ago, were they not responsible for all the problems we have created? It is destructive, calculated attempt to distract the nation, calculated attempt to hide and cover up for the wrong they have committed. But I'm saying to the MPP, they should try and bring in all the appointees who have run away to come and face the law. If really they think that President Mahama has something to do, what he has to do is to call all of them to the law who have stolen money. There's evidence that they stole money. The appointees stole money more than they need when they were in government. Very soon, you will see ministers, ministries, departments, and agencies unearthing and exposing all the corrupt deals that they have cooked, benefited. Look, if you go to Parliament, half of the minority MPs have private companies that are currently, they've awarded contracts to them in various departments and agencies. These are leeches. These are people who want to benefit in government and benefit in opposition. I don't take this exercise seriously.
Well, Mustafa, thank you. We'll wait and see how things turn out in the coming days. Mustafa Gbande is Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency. He's also the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. But still talking about the State of the Nation address, the Union of Professional Nurses and Midwives Ghana, UPNMG, is calling on the government to, as a matter of urgency, pay critical attention to the plight of nurses and midwives in the country. It follows what they say is failure of President Mahama to acknowledge the struggles nurses and midwives are currently facing in his maiden State of the Nation address delivered on Thursday. So what you see on your screens now is some 7 points that the union say that needs urgent attention, and they talk about the fast tracking of recruitment and posting of trained nurses and midwives to strengthen the healthcare workforce, also improving working conditions by ensuring all healthcare professionals have the necessary resources to perform their duties effectively, implementation of competitive remuneration policies, and then also providing adequate housing for nurses and midwives, particularly those in rural and underserved areas, to improve living conditions and also boost morale. The fifth point is reinstating the vehicle import duty waiver to support nurses and midwives in acquiring reliable transportation for work. And also, when we move on to the sixth point they put there, they are also talking about other issues that need quick addressing, and they are talking about ensuring that the rural incentive package, as is contained in their conditions of service, is implemented as soon as possible, and engaging stakeholders, key stakeholders for that matter, such as UPNMG and other unions, in discussions to create sustainable solutions for healthcare workers. And we'll be getting on the phone line shortly to speak to GHOne Agbenyavu, who is national PRO for the UPNMG. He has joined us. John, thank you so much for your time. So really, you say that the plight of nurses and midwives is dire and in need of some urgent attention. How bad is the situation, John?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. And I'm glad to be here today. In fact, it's important that we point out the fact that the president has taken some policies that will inure to the benefit of the healthcare system. Unfortunately, the key players in the healthcare system have not been mentioned. Nurses and midwives play a very key role in the healthcare system. Unfortunately, the address failed to mention some policies that are targeted to alleviating some suffering of the nurses and midwives. We feel that the president has left us out. It was so obvious that there are no policies regarding the issues of nurses and midwives. In fact, there are key issues that we expected the government to tackle. As a profession, we have a lot of our colleagues leaving the country on a daily basis. Our condition of service is poor, and we have our junior colleagues seated at home that have not been employed for some time now. So these are things that we expected the government to look at, and we expected this to reflect in the address of the president. Unfortunately, we did not see any of those things.
Interesting. And so what will be the way forward, being that it is currently what we are next looking forward to is the budget statement, which would look at government's allocations for the various sectors. What is the way forward for you?
Yeah, so it's important for us to identify the policies that the government is going to implement so that nurses and midwives have also benefited from this current government. In fact, paragraph 99 of the statement talk clearly about what the health sector is going to benefit from the current government and left nurses and midwives. So we feel that we need to engage properly to be able to ensure that we get some of these our concerns addressed, especially our young ones who are set at home and employed. And then our condition of service, the rural incentives. If you look at some other sectors that have been addressed, there are targeted policies to their individuals who are in those particular sectors. And so we feel that it is important for these targeted policies to also be addressed in nurses and midwives.
When I look at point 3, implementing competitive remuneration policies to enhance retention and curb the mass departure of skilled nurses, I thought that was a thing of the past. Do we still have your nurses running out of the country?
It's not a thing of the past. It has become a normal thing, and so we don't talk about it anymore. We have a number of people leaving the country on daily basis. In fact, it's no more news, and that is why you realize that it has gone down. Unfortunately, we still have people leaving the country. And so it's as a result of the poor condition we find ourselves in. And we cannot control this. The only way to control this is to make us also comfortable here, so that people can feel comfortable to work in the country.
Right. Well, so clearly, as it stands now, there needs to be some broader consultations with groups like your own to look at how better we can put in place mechanisms to retain our nurses and midwives in the country. That's the way forward, isn't it?
Exactly. And so we look at our colleagues who are working in rural communities, working in areas that do not have the basic amenities to work with, and yet they are not considered for rural incentives. In fact, these incentives have been part of our condition of service. Unfortunately, they have relinquished this to the employer to pay, and unfortunately, they are not able to pay. And so we feel that the government should take this up and ensure that nurses and midwives also benefit from this rural incentives.
Very well. John, thank you. Thank you so much for engaging with us. That's GHOne Agbenyavu. He is National PRO for the Union of Professional Nurses and Midwives Ghana. Now, away from that, the Ghana Water Limited, Accra West Region, has informed customers in the Amasaman district of a temporary reduction in water production at the Nsawam treatment plant, which serves the area. Now, in a statement issued on the 28th of February, GWL announced that the reduction in water production will take place from 1st March, which is today, to the 7th of March 2025 to facilitate essential maintenance work at the plant. Now, the company assured residents that the maintenance is necessary to enhance water supply efficiency. Now, as a result, communities within the Amasaman district will experience interruptions in water supply throughout the maintenance period. Affected areas include Amasaman Township, Abeniase, Toman, Sapeman, Pobiman, Obeye, Dar es Salaam, Fise, among from parts of Pokiase and surrounding communities. Now, the Water Limited has also advised residents to store sufficient water ahead of the disruption and express regret over the inconvenience caused. Well, motorists using the Malam interchange will have to endure worsening conditions as the gaps in the bridge expansion joints continue to widen. Although engineers from the Ghana Highway Authority are assessing and evaluating the problem and submitting a budget for repairs, approval is still pending. Peter Kwao Adato has been following up on the situation and has this report. Well, we apologize for that mishap there. We'll bring you that story later. This is still News Tonight here on GHOne Television. We'll take a breather now and return with more stories. Stay with us. Thank you so much for staying on with us. Now let's do some more stories. And 3 workers were injured at a construction site in Adringano at East Legon in Accra after alleged men in police uniform raided the site. Now this has sparked concern, particularly due to allegations of police involvement over a disputed land. A spokesperson for the overlord of the Gadangbe state, Numo Teteblefo, said the case has brought escalating tension in the area and called on the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, to intervene. The injured workers who were on a construction site described being attacked by police officers with batons, leaving them with severe injuries that required medical attention. Now, they explained how the incident happened to GHOne News and called for swift intervention.
Ni osro ye juma me Stephen da the one say gidi na mo for the tro HC it me obronsa sam reform a form me see form na me ko to dwere esi ontama me na we no a balance say me ko twesfe am so me na no man fa heba na anye na enye ere enye yi nti so mo ba ana say sumo so mo ba ko hunse mo ere nyamua o mo to be chesi esa jesa na to so mo osun te hu to san so be ere e be dwane nti so mo nsem o mo mboy.
We are begging the police, they for hold their peace. May we the laborer, we for do our own work. We come to find food, we no come to fight somebody. Therefore no come to threaten us, make we dey run with the wound. We tire for that. This is Ghana. Where they say freedom and justice, there is no freedom again.
No one pa fa yo mo ko ba ye no ko ebi e. Ni oyo le egbenu nija, aho e woku eri e. Ni ejo ono ni. Aka yingbe tu aga gbe loflo. Mo ko wa ga enu shini, le pa fite lo ko ebi e. E na machuna a shene ta flache. Libi jalewa. Simiti jalewa. Dade jalewa. Nu jalewa. Adesa ta wa me dagma. Machines ni aga tu oni ne je shomushka. Ni atu ne ke ni ke ta flache ka fla. Menyo pleni a e bo mo no jo so ba pata mo ba pata. Si won pa fai mo ka jese ne ba enu shini le gba fe nu ni esa. Won pa fai won ade le te kokko. Tete. Won ka la ngba bi, won ka pe si bi, won ka ligbuleme. Won ka dan me, won ka onye me fante me, won ka onye ma chante me, won ka onye me fe nde bole. Je ko je jo e fa ke won pa fai. Beni wo ngwe ha gan me ke de gan dan gbe bi ye. Ashi wo sane ha wo.
Now, substance abuse among students remains a growing concern because of its impact on their health, education and prospects. A nationwide sensitization program to educate students on the dangers of substance abuse and the importance of human rights has been launched by Better Dream Foundation Ghana. GHOne News' Savannah regional correspondent Adam Salifu reports.
Substance abuse is the harmful or hazardous use of psychoactive substances, including alcohol and illicit drugs. One of the key impacts on society is the negative health consequences experienced by users. Drug use also puts a heavy financial burden on individuals, families, and society. The Daboya Sensitization Project brought together students, activists and stakeholders to discuss the harmful effects of substance abuse and the crucial role of human rights in promoting inclusivity and social justice. Executive Director of Better Dream Foundation, Shaibu Mohammed, called on governments and stakeholders to support underprivileged students, ensuring equal access to education and a brighter future.
And when we talk of human rights, we are talking of basic rights and individuals coming together to support the children and then educate them on human rights.
A participant, Yusuf Karima, shared her thoughts on the impact of substance abuse among her peers and how the campaign had influenced her perspective.
Some of them some say that because they don't know how to use the drugs, they feel shy. They don't want to come to school and to disclose their address.
Other speakers at the event also emphasized the importance of youth empowerment and their ambitions for a drug-free society.
When students mostly engage in this kind of thing, they don't get the attention to stay in school again. Some have to leave school, some have to engage in other unprofitable activities. Another thing is about their lives, their future, how they waste talents out there. People who could have been working to support our labor force are engaging in substance abuse and reducing our productivity.
Adam Salifu's report for GHOne News.
So from the Savannah region, let me take you to the Central region, where Regional Minister GHOne has clamped down on shop owners in the Aguna West municipality who failed to turn up for the cleanup exercise organized in the area. Now, the exercise was instituted by the minister in collaboration with Nananom of Aguna Swedru following the outbreak of cholera and its attendant deaths in the region. However, on the day of the exercise, the shop owners, despite locking their shops, failed to partake in the cleanup. Here's the Central Regional Minister, GHOne.
I want now war or the Wabo so made. We now want to shop no more. Watch and the year and Sana, Waba on or yell. And so maybe says I may go to another may in there. Yeah, should have been on a passes able to do it. This time, next time I have been the Baba in the 10 near the Kobe to Fuko. The mobile about to one now. Why you run Uncle Sam was why be what to too bad when you have or didn't say I made 1 year at the Uncle Sam and that the Penebi way, yes, and sweets and Ishabakade. If you are Bobby Pie, the one said I don't. Onanka so onye fi manu no nje yawa nti ebotwe ya yehu adwumade say akwaye abrabom nsem ewa akwaye abrabom nsem nti se obi ni trend o ye nwura na wasesa de wansesa wo obi be kire na ono obakoda waye na mom tisha wadwum de iye nwura na nsesa wa oye bon ma wankasa against wuso wa wusunsum oyida ye de madene da ono de bebia obi ho obi ho ye nwura basesa nti ye said awona wato aden o bebia wato kubewe kwhwe nwura na ogwa yakosa onya kakraba onto de ye hwede obi aba na pomudinka obahwe ma na patem aye fine na no patem aye kama na ye kan yankada obi mfi bebi nkosese obi no ho so obi asese bebi onankasa wa ye problem o send one dey create nwura no nti se south gu adum na kwato gu a na nche wa ye dan so na pay assembly de nyoma aba ya ye binim so wa boy nkaka yetum ya so ya ye za ye botum bia na ya hwede obaka ye ho ma da mu no ya hwede ye besese o ma bibia ye kama.
Meanwhile, Regent of Aguna Swedru Nana Kweku Esieni V has promised to summon shop owners and punish them to serve as deterrent to others.
Last month, Binma Wamba near Frenwa Hifi in the GHOne. Now, why you wait, Pepe in the one saw Yebunde Wamban. Once you have from Nawoba, and yet there, yet you win keke, yet to one fool. I will here say, or there one casa baby Watson, one my ho, eto. Inti, I idea, he put the near knee assembly no, as she said, there will soon be a better day, yebeye. Because Minister for Health or Parliament, that the way are now all church, corolla, moatre, parliamentarians, no mamma far a dictionary. Now, we get definition of corolla, nature there, a bidma yet film near if no being here there. If we build to bring yet to Yeman for no now, what's one fee? If you it's a idea about to us.
You're still watching News Tonight here on GHOne Television. It's time to bring you the latest in the world of business. Now, the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority has introduced an upgraded digital system to enhance land management and urban planning. The Land Use Planning and Management Information System, LUPMIS, is designed to provide metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies, academia, professional bodies and the public with real-time data for effective spatial planning. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement, LUPSA's Deputy CEO, Chapman Osusetre, assured Ghanaians that the new system will lead to a more efficient and transparent land permits EC1's process, improving overall development management.
What we are trying to do is to put everything together and develop a web-based system so that wherever you are, once you have access to internet, you can log in and be hooked into the system and use the tools in the system for spatial planning activities. So there will be a component of this loop-based, what we call the public data room. So in the public data room, citizens could access to find out what is there. So if you are interested in having a development in a certain area within the jurisdiction of the assembly, you can go to the public data room and find out what has been proposed for that area, because there you see all the approved plans, the layouts, so that you know that this land that is being sold to me, it has been approved for this purpose. So if I'm not going in for that purpose, I cannot develop and I don't need to buy that land.
Now, President of the Automotive Assemblers Association of Ghana, GHOne, says the full implementation of a ban on salvaged, used and accident cars importation policy will rather create more jobs, dispelling fears of job losses. Now, according to him, all automotive assemblers in the country have the capacity to establish components manufacturing plants, leading to the engagement of more auto technicians in the country. He made these comments during the launch of the locally assembled VW Touareg here in Accra.
In line with the Ghana Automotive Manufacturing Development Program, which aims to make Ghana a brand new automobile hub in West Africa, the government initiated a review of the Customs Amendments Bill in 2020 to ban used, above 10-year-old, salvaged or accidented vehicles. However, the policy is yet to be implemented due to pushbacks. President of the Automotive Assemblers Association of Ghana, Jeffrey Oponpepra, believes that the full implementation will lead to more jobs.
With the informal sectors that we have mechanics that they think they will lose their jobs in downsizing the number of used cars or accident cars that come, they will still have a space in the automobile industry where they can be part of the production. So our local people will also have chance, because there's a volume driven, and volume driven means we need more people. And these more people, what are they going to do? They are going to earn very good, better jobs.
The president also announced that plans are underway to roll out vehicle financing in the country, allowing Ghanaians to own brand new vehicles through installment payments. He made this known at a launch for locally assembled VW Touareg.
We could see the cars are already reduced, because when it is assembling here, you have import taxes already waived. So there's already a much reduction on the car. But if we have also vehicle financing to facilitate buying, or the buying power people have to spend without they have a chance to pay in a longer term, this will drive volume, and I think this will be something good for all Ghanaians who would like to drive a vehicle.
The locally assembled VW Touareg boasts features such as high fuel economy, lower emissions, a massage system, high safety system, and adaptability to all climatic conditions, among others.
Now to some other business stories. A rather sad one in Ghana has lost a distinguished business leader with the passing of Alhaji Asma Banda. Prominent figures including Sir Sam Jonah and Dele Mahmood have confirmed the news. Alhaji Banda was a trailblazer in Ghana's shipping and aviation industries, making significant contributions to the country's economic landscape. Now, he founded Antrax Shipping Line and played a pivotal role in revolutionizing domestic air travel in Ghana and West Africa. Now, beyond his business achievements, Alhaji Banda was known for his wisdom, resilience, and dedication to Ghana's development. His influence extended beyond commerce, inspiring many young entrepreneurs to pursue their dreams despite challenges. His passing marks the end of an era, but his legacy will live on in the countless lives he impacted through his work and vision. So we say, Alhaji, may God grant you Janatul Firdaus. While you're still watching News Tonight here on GHOne television, we'll take another break and we'll be back with more. Stay with us. Welcome back from that commercial break. Now, in line with his stance on the controversial legislation regarding LGBTQ plus activities in Ghana, President GHOne Dramani Mahama says he's working closely with the Office of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, to reintroduce the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill as a government-sponsored bill rather than a private member's bill. Speaking during a worship service with the Christian community in Accra, the president reaffirmed his position on homosexuality.
I, as a Christian, uphold the principle and the values that only two genders exist, man and woman. And that a marriage is between a man and a woman. I've spoken with the Speaker so that a renewal of the expired Proper Families Bill, Values Bill, should be a bill that is introduced by government rather than as a private member's motion. And it's my hope that that consultation would see a renewed Proper Families Values Bill.
Well, former PNC chairman and 2024 presidential aspirant Bernard Mona has endorsed the revocation of US aid support for Africa, arguing that the continent possesses abundant resources to sustain itself. Now, speaking at the 2025 Danju Festival in Ikpira, Tempani district, he asserted that America's decision should serve as a wake-up call for African leaders to strive for true independence and self-sufficiency.
While sitting on the days with the chairman, I asked him the meaning of Boku, and he told me that it's Bok, which means the van. If colonialists have made it Boku, why are we still calling it Bok? Let us decolonize ourselves and take the name that is originally supposed to be and correct that colonial error. In similar fashion, we are not Bimobes. We are Mobes. Some of our people are in Togo. They are in Cameroon. Samuel Eto'o is said to be a Moba. We are in Central African Republic. We are in Benin. We are in Burkina Faso. If you cross to these places and say you are a Bimoba, you are an alien. We are Mobas. Let us decolonize ourselves and refer to ourselves as Mobes. Because Bimoba simply refers to British Moba. We are not British people, and therefore we cannot be British Moba. Decolonization must start from us. It is in that light that I want to comment probably what many people see as the Trump crash. But for me, I comment Donald Trump for taking away USAID and saying that the United States is not going to give aid to any African country. We may be sad that it will impose on us a temporary deficit in our budget, and particularly those other people that are benefiting from USAID. But it is the beginning of telling us Africans that we must become independent and not dependent on some other people. We cannot continue to depend on European aid. We cannot continue to depend on American aid. We have resources.
Well, let's take flight from Ghana, move into other areas and bring you news from the international sphere. President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet British Prime Minister Keir Starmer as most of Europe rallies behind Kiev after Zelensky's public clash with United States President Donald Trump. Starmer's office said he would meet Zelensky in London on Saturday before a wider summit of European leaders on Sunday, which Downing Street said will focus on shoring up support for securing a just and enduring peace in Ukraine.
Support for Ukraine stands in doubt after a White House meeting between President Zelensky and President Trump on Friday devolved into a shouting match.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
Sunday's summit is also expected to address the need for Europe to increase defense cooperation amid fears about whether the US will continue to support NATO. Meanwhile, European leaders have rallied behind President Zelensky after President Donald Trump's furious exchange with the Ukrainian president in the White House. The leaders of Germany, France, Spain, Spain, Poland, and the Netherlands were among those who posted social media messages backing Ukraine, with President Zelensky responding directly to each one to thank them for their support. The Ukrainian president is in London to attend a summit hosted by UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, who retains unwavering support for Ukraine.
Well, and on that note, we draw the curtains on News Tonight here on GHOne Television. This morning is for you at starfm.com.gh. I am Joshua Kojo Mensa. Production also led by Evelyn Araba Edu, and the entire team. Grateful, guys, for helping this come live to your homes. And happy birthday to our CEO, Bola Ray, and our MNE, Alice Aite. Do have a wonderful evening.